To my YouTube channel again. We're going to be talking about algebraic expressions part 2. In our last class, you may not know this, but it covered both multiplication, addition, subtraction, and division of algebraic expressions. So we're just going to move on. Like I said, my tutorials and lessons are fast and easy and helps you understand things in just a few minutes. If you have a question or something you don't get in my video so far, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment section. I'll reply you immediately. So let's get straight into it. Algebraic expressions. Sorry, my handwriting is just part 2. So now we know what variables are. Like in our last class, we talked about variables and how they are numbers that don't have value in the expression most of the time. So now what we're going to do now, we're going to solve some questions under algebra, and while we're solving it, I'll explain each and every one and explain what topic or subtopic they are all under. So first of all, let's say we have this. And it said given A is equals to 1 and B is equals to 5. Find C. So what are we going to do? We're going to substitute the values for A, the variable A, and the value for the variable B that is given, and put it into our equation. We're going to put them in their right places. So first of all, we have 2 bracket 1 plus 2 bracket 5 is equals to 2C. So now 2 times 1, because it's in the bracket, so we're just going to multiply it. And 2 times 5 is 10. So I have 2C. 2 plus 10 is 12. So equals to 2C. So we're going to divide. What we're going to do here is we're going to divide both sides by the coefficient of C. Coefficient is like the number multiplying the variable at the moment, the number closest to the variable that is multiplying it. If you have, let's say we have we are given a variable A. We know that its coefficient is 1. Why is it? Because we're not seeing 1 here like we're seeing the 2 here, and I'm calling it the coefficient. This is because there's an invisible 1 here. This A cannot exist without that 1. This A is once, appears once. That is 1 times this A. Anywhere it goes, this A appears once. So that's the same thing as 1 times this A, which is the coefficient, which we call the coefficient. That is the 1. So if we have 5A, it has to be indicated because this one appeared once, so we have to indicate that this one appeared 5 times. That's why we are pressing the 5. So it just goes that way. Sorry, I might have a typographical error here, but no worries. 5. So let's get back to the question. So we're going to divide the both sides by the coefficient of the variable of one side. That's the fraction of the variable existing, whatever side it is, even if it was here or here, so long as that number before the variable, that number multiplying before the variable, that's what we're going to divide the both sides with. So we're gonna Let's put our 2 under each side, and we're just going to cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 12 divided by 2 is 6. That is, if you share 12 into 2 places, we're going to have 6. So therefore 6, sorry, let me break it down more. 6 is equals to C. So we know that C is also equals to 6. Therefore this is our answer. So if A is 1, B is C, B is 5, then C is 6. That's it for that question. That was number 1. Let's go to example number 2. Here we have 6x plus 7y is equals to minus 10z. Notice I'm no longer using A, B, C. It doesn't matter so long as it's a letter. An algebraic expression is where you have letters in an expression, and those letters represent variables, that is unknowns, unknown numbers. Yes, I throw more light on it in case you didn't get it the first time. So we have 6. Okay, sorry. Let's see, x is minus 1, y is minus 2. So we should find z. Okay, so we're going to have 6 bracket. We're going to be bracketing it into here because it's multiplication. Bracket also means multiplication, so that bracket is more important than the multiplication, but they all made the same thing. Okay, so we have minus 1 plus 7, what's y? Minus 2, so we're going to bracket that there. Minus 2 is equals to minus 10z. So what do? 6 times minus 1. Like I said, I gave a rule last time, and that rule I gave was plus times minus is equals to minus. Minus times minus is equals to plus. Plus times plus is equals to plus, and then minus times plus is equals to plus. So there's a minus here and there's an invisible plus sign. When you see a number that doesn't have a sign in front of it or a minus sign in front of it, you know that number definitely is positive. They don't always indicate, especially when it's starting the equation. Here 7 is positive, is indicated because it is inside the expression, but here it is already starting the expression, so it cannot be indicating plus 6 here, but we all know that there's a plus 6 here. So plus times minus is minus, like I said here. So using that, on that note, we know that minus 6 times 1 is 6, and then plus times minus is minus. So what they have, okay, down the minus, that is 6 minus 6 plus 7 times minus 2. Like I said, plus times minus is minus, so we're going to be having the minus. We keep the minus down. We're going to keep this in a bracket so we don't get confused. We bring down the plus. We're going to keep everything in a black bracket so we don't fuck up the show. Yeah, so we have minus, and then that's 7 times 2. 7 times 2, that's 14. So we're just going to keep that there like that, and minus 10z. So in this case, minus 6 is still the same thing. Multiplication is bracket, like I said before, and just that bracket is more important, and bracket helps you to keep in check what you're doing so you don't get confused. Multiplication is the same thing as bracket, so here we're only multiplying the plus and the minus sign because that's the only thing involved here. So when we see the plus and the minus sign, we know that we're going with the minus thing, and that's what we do. then minus 10. Okay, z. So minus 6 minus 14. I gave it to you last time. And there I said, when you have minus 6, like I'm owing someone $6, and I still went and borrowed from another person $14. How much am I owing in total? That's how much do I have? How much do I have? I don't have anything. What I'm owing. So let's calculate what I owe. How much am I owing in total? That will be the 6 I borrowed plus the 14 I borrowed. So what are we going to have? Minus 6 plus 14 is 20. So I'm owing two people, or I'm owing whoever I'm owing minus 20 in total. So like I borrowed minus $20. I borrowed $20, sorry. So my account, I should be having minus 20 written there. Of course, you will not see it there, but you know that personally you are worth less than $0 going into minus 20. Just kidding. Okay, so minus 10. So we're going to be dividing the both sides by minus 10 because of I'm taking the both of them. But the minus sign and the coefficient, both signs are going over here. They are all dividing both sides. So what's going to happen? We're going to divide both sides by the coefficient of z. So what's our coefficient? Yes, we know that that's minus 10. So minus 20 all divided by minus 10 is going to give us minus 10 is equals to minus 10 divided by minus 10 is divided by minus 10. So what are we going to do? 20 divided by 10, that's 20, that's 2. So we're just going to cancel that out. So we have 2. So what sign are we going to put here? That was where I made the mistake. What I meant to have written here was the division rule for plus and minus signs. So here we're going to be having, wherever we have like plus divided by minus, that's minus. Minus divided by minus, that's plus. And plus divided by plus, that's plus. Minus divided by plus, that is minus. So it's quite literally, sorry, there's a mistake here. This is meant to be minus, sorry. It's quite literally the same with the last guy we did. So we know that from here, minus divided by minus is going to give us plus. So wherever you see minus dividing minus, we're just going to put down plus. So now you have 2 plus 2 is equals to, this is also plus, so we're going to end up with plus z. I don't need to include the plus signs, but I just want to use it so you don't get confused. So if 2 is equals to z, they are all positive, and z is equals to 2. So that's how we know our answer. So let's do a check, like a test, to see if we're correct. Because you solve something and you're not really sure if you're correct most of the time. So it's always good to do a little quick check. So let's do a quick check on the 2 questions we have done so far. Our question was, number 1 question was given as 2a plus 2b is equals to 2c. And he said a was 1, b was 5, and we also got our answer c as 6. So let's substitute all that into this equation right now, or expression. That is going to be 2 bracket 1, which is a, and 2 bracket 5, which is b, and then equating to 2 bracket 6, which we got. So we're going to use that to just check whether we are correct. So 2 times 1 is 2, as we know. 2 times 5 is 10, which is equals to 2 times 6 is what? 12. So 2 plus 10 is what? 12 is equals to 12. So we are correct. Number 2, 6x plus 7y is equals to minus 10z. So let's substitute our values for our variables, and that is x as given here is minus 1, so we're going to put that here. 7 and y as given there is minus 2, so we're going to put that there. And then minus 10 z is given here. Sorry, look at what we got it here. Our z is 2, so let's test that. Let's put that to a test. 6 times minus 1, we're gonna be having minus 6, like I said, plus a visible plus sign, multiplying the minus sign, and it's giving us the minus sign front of whatever our answer is. So 6 times 1 is 6, and that's how we arrive there. The same thing, plus sign is multiplying the minus sign, we end up with minus. And then 7 times 2 is 14, so it's gonna be having minus 10 times 2 is minus 20. So minus 6 minus 14, like I said, you borrowed $6 and you borrowed $14. You have to add up what you borrowed to know what you're actually owing people. So you're gonna be having minus 20 is equals to minus 20. We know we are correct. That's the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe and like for more of my content. Also, I'll be posting the next part in the next 2 days. Can't wait to see you guys then. Bye.